Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 3 of the the Imperial Amateur League. I'm your host, Paleo Penguino, here with my partner in crime, Canopenerdude. Canopenerdude, how are you doing today?
Well, I am feeling very initialized myself, so I guess we can say that it's welcome to me being initialized. With that being said, I am excited to be here. I'm excited to be casting this game between Midnight Gaming and EZG. These two teams recognize a few names as I came in here. Zadro in particular and the Vincere. Seen them play a lot. So, let's get into the bands we got here going on. We see Hecarim, Malzahar, Trundle, and Jin, and Rek'Sai joining them. So, quite a few power picks banned out here so far.
It's definitely seeing some top jungle kind of mix here in the ban session as they plan to go all out, maybe leaving the bottom lane open, but the Jin is now picked out for banning. Uh, Jin is an extremely good power pick right nowadays, and now with the Nidalee ban, so they're going all out jungle top main focus, but the Jin pick on bot lane is unacceptable for either side. Let's see how this pans out for the rest of them as we see them develop their comps.
Right, we do see the Nidalee getting banned out, so not like you said, another strong jungle pick gone. So we're gonna see what Midnight Gaming's first pick here is. This actually is the first time I've not seen Vladimir banned in a very long time, so I'm expecting to see him picked in this game. Rovan is hovering this Irelia pick, which is also a very strong top lane pick right now. Aurelia's, super powerful. She did get nerfed a little bit in the most recent patch. Still very good, though.
Well, right now we're seeing some standard meta hovers and bans. Maybe everyone's targeting meta because they probably feel that the meta is the strongest thing right now. But then that doesn't discount the fact that each player is good with their own set of champions, and we don't know how deep their champion pools go. So maybe they'll put out some really, really weird picks coming out. Maybe some woodworks coming out of the woodworks. Maybe like a Blitzcrank top. We will see something really crazy, I feel.
I don't think we're going to see a Blitzcrank top, especially not into a Shen. Shen has been picked several times. He's coming much back into popularity. He's got excellent 1v1 dueling potential against a lot of auto-attacking champions due to Spirit's Refuge. And he's also got that global map presence that gives him the ability to just be wherever he wants to be and still be able to get into a team fight when he needs to get there. So Shen, very, very safe pick. We're going to have to see what My Little Pony wants to respond here. The Irelia would be a good pick, and we saw the Gragas hover, but now we're looking at maybe an Ashe going down to Elbolt. And we do see the Ashe locked in. Pretty sure that's going to be an ADC Ashe. It's not a Lucian, that's for sure, but it's still an Ashe.
Let's see. Right now we're seeing some really standard picks, kind of common right now, being used in the scene a lot, especially with the Ashe, the Irelia, and the Shen. Extremely well versed, extremely well used, and they have a huge pick ban ratio right now at the moment. As Vincere is hovering this Evelyn and is it Rectal King? That's Rect King. Wretched King, whatever his name is.
Ratchet King.
Wretched King. There you go.
There we
Wretched King is trying to pick. I wonder what they're going to pick first, though. They're picking the jungle, which they're hovering the jungle. So jungle top are covered. I'm not sure if they're going to reveal the bottom lane just yet, or if they're going to go ahead and pick the mid. But the mid leaves them open to a counter pick. Let's see if they hold that off for the mid later. So they are going to hover the bottom lane right now with this Karma Caitlyn. We don't even know if Caitlyn's going down. Caitlyn's a really good flex pick right now, actually, because Karma allows you to hover both support and mid at the same time, because then it allows you to then readjust your comp based off of what they pick for their mid or their support lane, seeing which one is a better match for this Karma.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. Karma being it's a good flex pick, but I think picking it in tandem with the ADC kind of diminishes that somewhat, because unless they really get desperate with how the mid lane matchup is shaping up, it's almost definitely going to go support when you pick them as a pair like that. Karma is still a very strong support. Going into a Braum Ashe matchup, it's very, very good paired up with a Caitlyn. You got that range support to deal with Braum wanting to get in close in your face. You got a lot of poke, a lot of different abilities that can really give you an edge there. I do like the Karma pick, and I don't necessarily agree with picking a Braum into it.
Yeah, you give up a lot of poke damage, and range is the weapon for Caitlyn and Karma in the bot lane on the blue side. And we're going to have a lot of faith in this Freljord bottom lane with Ashe and Braum at the helm. We're seeing it. Let's see what they pick as far as summoners go. We're picking some Sanders summoners. We got 2 heals on the side of red side right now. And right now they're getting Victor and Elise, some two incredibly talented players on some of the most controlling and demanding champions in the game right now, especially with Elise. Elise has 2 forms that you must master. You must learn to use the snare and the web in tandem with the other abilities. It is one of the most complex champions to play right now in League. And Victor's a standard control mage, probably the most controlliest of control mages out there. Very good in peel and also the stuns and the damage amounts, especially in team fights. Really good for doing that AoE, especially with the ulti right now. And let's see what Pitch My Tent has to do in response to this. Now they have to pick their mid lane. So picking a Victor is extremely well on the side of blue side right now, because it's a really good pick overall. It doesn't matter what else you could pick into it, maybe a counter pick, but even the counter picks to Victor, once you play a Victor extremely well, you don't really need to worry about a counter pick because you've got so much room to work with, because it is a really good mid laner all in all. We're just going to see Pitch My Tent kind of hover. Maybe they're going to go over, let's see what we can do, because right now the comp on blue side is looking extremely strong, and Pitch My Tent is hovering that Vlad pick. A Vladimir right now would probably start and engage with the Sanguine Pool and then revert to the whole reworked abilities I haven't yet mastered in my tongue yet. As we see this start to readjust, we're going to see how this team is going to look like.
Right, yeah, that's going to confirm Vladimir's continuing 100% pick ban rate for the broadcasted games here. Like Octavian and I said yesterday, we don't know too much about the dark games that go on in the background, but other than the fact that you need to pronounce dark like dark when you say it. But that being said, Vladimir, very, very strong, very, very contested pick. And I'd actually give the lane to him over a Victor. We're also getting word that it is Wretched King. It's not Ratchet Wrench, it's Wretched King. So we'll bear that in mind. Bear with us as we, navigate the waters of these creative summoner names. As we get into the game here, we do have the summoners, we do have the champions, we have the summoner spells, we have a delay going on. We're gonna go to a short break as we count down to the game beginning here, as we begin our first game of the night, Midnight Gaming versus EZG. Stay with us.
When the night is over, my life is over, 'cause I start thinking again about our time together. When the night is over, my life is over, 'cause I start thinking again about our time together.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first matchup on week 3 in the IAL, the Imperial Amateur League. Here with me is Canopenerdude. Canopenerdude, are you ready for some royal rumbling, mighty thumping, mighty morphin League of Legends right now?
Royal Rumbling, Mighty More. I think you got most of the Power Rangers there, so I'm gonna give you that one. But yes, I am totally ready to see this game here today. Especially this very interesting invade type situation that's going on right now. EZG is just kind of hanging out in this bush. They got one ward down and have no idea what's going on. Meanwhile, on the side of Midnight Gaming, they've managed to get a few wards down. They know exactly where the mid and top lane are going to be. And yeah, but they didn't meet each other at all. So I guess that's the good part of that.
What could have been a scary early engage turned out to be just this wisp of wind brushing against their faces like a silent fart wafting in the wind. They barely evaded, but they looked at each other's presence.
Yeah, I feel like EZG may have gotten an inkling of what was going on, but it was Midnight Gaming who really came out ahead in that particular early game invade. Gonna see pretty much standard lanes come out here as the junglers begin their opposite routes. Both junglers starting out their blue buffs. Pretty standard for Melise and Gragas. So we're gonna have to see how these lanes progress.
Some extreme violence going down in the bot lane.
Yeah, not a little bit of damage onto It Is Tuesday. Nothing particularly bad, but what we do see is Pitch My Tent getting chunked significantly by a combination of Yulayan and It Is Tuesday, putting down some pain with their combination poke. It's a lot of damage you can put down with a headshot and a Karma mantra, don't you think?
Let's see. I'll just kick my pony and Robin going at it on the top lane, just feeling each other out like boxes in an arena match. Feeling each other out with some light punches, making sure they know each other's stats and weaknesses right now in the top lane. Nothing too much going on as far as the mid lane. There's some heavy aggression on the side of Midnight Gaming, with Victor pushing a little headstrong. But other than that, everything's a bit stable. The ward coverage for both teams have been really good so far. But EZG Gaming has been on the defensive the entire time, placing defensive wards. And Midnight Gaming playing some aggressive ward coverage right now, which has so far helped them so far.
Yeah, it really, really has. I feel that Elise might have a much better idea on where Gragas is in the jungle than their counterpart will. The Vincier is going to get spotted out by the last second of that ward, so this gank is not going to become of anything unless he can pull something crazy out here. He's going to hover for a minute, but I expect him to back off. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, though, this is a much better ganking opportunity. Zadro's waiting for the minion wave to come down a little bit before he can go in. He's coming in with the W. Gamu's falling off, and that's going to force the flash from Ratchet King. Zadro not even having to use a flash of his own. So just forcing out Victor's one escape right there. He's going to still have Ghost, but that's not going to help him much when a barreling Gragas with a barrel comes barreling in.
Touche, my friend. Right now, Victor is going to start roaming a little bit. Now, questioning where the Vlad is, but Vlad was going to look to go down, but placing his smart ward to prevent any unwanted ganks from this Elise, as they know that Elise is bottom and likes to be in the bottom, because right now Robin is handling his own at top.
Right. Robin is handling his top, so the Vincier is going to hover this bot lane, like you said. He's hanging out in this second bush, hoping for a lane gank. My Little Pony and Robin enjoying their time. Vincier's probably just going to have to go ahead and back. This lane is much too pushed. There's not really a whole lot you can gank in a Caitlyn lane unless the opponent is just as aggressive. Meanwhile, the top lane, more farming.
And more farming.
And more farming.
And there's some farming in the bot lane too. In the mid lane, we see this Gragas just patiently waiting.
Yeah, he's hanging out there. He's looking for it. Zadro Zadro, my friend, I would fantasy draft him any day if I could. He is a fun player, and I like watching him play. But right now, he's camping this victory because he knows that Flash is down. Still down for at least another minute or two, so he definitely wants to get in on that. He's going to use his own Flash, force the Ghost from Wretched King, and actually push him back with very, very low health. He's probably going to have to recall here. Meanwhile, in the top lane, My Little Pony taking a little bit of damage from Robin without getting any on in return, thanks to that Clutch Spear's refuge there. Wretched King is now very low on mana and very low on health. This is not going to be a lane he's going to want to stay in, but he did manage to burn Zadro's Flash in return for his Ghost. But now Wretched King is completely exposed if another gank can come in before that Flash comes out.
And right now everybody's pretty much even, but there's only a 300 gold difference right now, and a slight advantage of CS going in favor of EZG Gaming right now.
Ooh, the Vinkere is here. He's gonna My Little Pony's gonna have to flash over the cocoon. Really nice flash by My Little Pony there to get out of that gank. And he does use his ult for safety, get a little bit of health back on the I wouldn't even call it spell vamp, just a health restore from the ultimate. Gonna be able to stay in lane and farm under his tower fairly safely. The Vincier farming both sides of the map and ganking for as many lanes as he can. Not a whole lot of success on either side of the ganks right now. There's been some flashes forced, but no kills as of yet.
Been a really slow-paced game right now with a couple of surprises set up by Midnight Gamers, but Midnight Gamers are slowly pacing this game as the Shin is controlling the lane up top, not letting My Little Pony do too much on the way of progression, if anything at all, because right now Robin has been at least halfway to engaging the turret so far, has not let this turret being pushed back at all.
Yeah, really all of Midnight Gaming has been doing an excellent job of trying to push in here. Gamu in the mid lane is doing a good job of pushing back. He's actually going to be roaming towards the top side here, as is the Vincier. Let's see how this gank slash counter gank works out for them, because they may end up doing themselves in here. Robin by himself, Gamu's going to be able to get one E off, not much else. He does burn his Ghost for that. So the Vincier will wait in that bush, trying to be stealthy, and now Wretched King is meeting up with the Vincier, trying to provide some backup in case they want to go in on Gamu, but I think Gamu's just going to back straight out here. Go to the Krugs maybe pick up some Krugs. My Little Pony, going to go ahead and back. He's running low on mana.
Standard lane call. Right now, Midnight Gamers have great aggressive ward coverage against EZG, with mostly going into the top jungle, nothing in the bottom at all. A defensive ward in the tri-bush down bot lane to prevent ganks, but other than that, nothing too much on the bot side. But right now, top vision is on point right now for Midnight Gamers. On the side of EZG though, there comes the Ashe ult and the engage.
Ashe ult goes down, followed by a Glacier Vigor. Elaine is caught out in the open. He gets the Stand United from Robin. Now it's going to be a big fight coming down. The Mantra Q is right in the middle. There is a teleport coming down from My Little Pony. Zadro's tanking the front line, but he's getting low. Robin's also going low. He just has one more stack on this thing, and My Little Pony gets a surprise double kill with Blazers, but he's going to go down to the tower. The Vincier manages to repel out after picking up that one return kill. Whew. But EZG managing to come out slightly ahead. They're getting the first blood gold and an additional kill on top of it for their top laner, My Little Pony, on this Aurelia, off of an excellent double Q to execute 2 targets in a row.
That was quite the excellent execution in the early game, would you say?
Yeah, that's a lot of E's. And actually, it was the Vincier's E that got him out of there on that very nice Elise repel to get him back out of danger once he had managed to get that one crucial auto attack down on My Little Pony to make sure that kill was secured. Now we see in the mid lane, Wretched King and Gamu fighting it out. Wretched King has the advantage here, but he's not going to be able to finish it off. The gravity field, not able to get the stun off. Gamu's just going to go ahead and back right up and go back to pick up some more items. Or not, he's going to stick around instead. Vince here back in the bot lane. There's some minions here. He's not going to be able to land a cocoon in that mess. He ain't even going to try. He's just going to hang out, apply some pressure. As Gamu is still hanging out in this mid lane. It's getting a little dangerous for him. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Robin and My Little Pony duking it out. Not a whole lot to say about that. Just both kind of tanky. Both have a little bit of damage. They're just going to keep fighting back and forth.
And right now, both junglers have some excellent rotations, keeping pressure on both sides of the map and on the middle too, especially from the Gragas on Zadro from EZG, keeping that middle pressure and also keeping the wards coming on both sides. But right now, Midnight Gamers doing exactly the same amount of wellness and keeping these rotations on point, making sure that this game doesn't get out of control. This game is a very slow-paced, evenly matched up game so far, even though there's one more kill difference in between both teams. They've been doing pretty solid. That's why we don't see too many tower shots right now, and the tower shots are coming in on this one right now as they go below half health.
Yeah, I do want to commend Midnight Gaming here for having a significant amount of rotational potential and using that to their advantage to stay around the map and be able to use that increased pressure to try and pick up some kills. It hasn't worked out for them so far, but they definitely are trying. We do see My Little Pony and Zadro here picking up the Rift Herald from My Little Pony. That's going to be a big help to him in this lane. My Little Pony on Aurelia is going to want to stay in this top lane for quite a while yet. So with that 20-minute buff, he's going to be able to stay here and have a little bit more dueling potential against a Shen who's kind of an anti-duelist in a way.
Yeah, Shen is more take the hits and then make you pay for it in some bursty damage amounts. Maybe not long term. His dual mechanics are slightly difficult to master, but in the hands of this player like Robin, I believe.
Ooh, Wretched King managing to get the edge stun on the Gamu, but that might not be enough. Gamu has his ult. He's going to be able to heal a lot off that ult, plus his W, Sanguine Pool, and a final transfusion nets him the kill. A bit too over-aggressive there. Meanwhile, Robin gets a clutch Shadow Dash out of there to dash out of Zadro's body slam and make sure he gets out alive. So only one kill over to the side of EZG right now. What a kill it was in that mid lane. A 1v1 between Gamu and Wretched King. Turning out well for Gamu despite Wretched King being the one to initiate it.
Right now the goal difference is not too steep at all. 1500 is the only difference right now. As both teams are doing extremely well on both sides. The towers haven't fallen yet, but close to it. Laning phase is taking a little longer than usual, going into the 15-minute marker coming in.
Well,
so steady gameplay though.
Yeah, steady gameplay. Not a whole lot of big team action except for that one fight in the bot lane. I expect we'll see a bit more once they start thinking about this first dragon. It is a Cloud Drake, so that first dragon is kind of undervalued, despite it stacking up to be much, much better once you get 2 and 3. But that first one, kind of undervalued, despite the fact that Zadro probably could have picked it up quite a few times here. He's going to actually camp in this bot lane for a second, see if he can get a gank on Elaine, and it is Tuesday. Since they have a history of pushing up into pretty far, but it looks like they managed to spot him out thanks to a cheeky little minion that just kind of towed into the bush there. That's going to force him to pretty much just stay here for no reason, because I doubt Yilliam and It Is Tuesday are going to go forward after that. Not a whole lot of action happening here. I imagine we're going to see some very, very soon, though.
Right now, Shen building that Sunfire Cave, finishing that. But on the other side, Aurelia finished a Triforce. And both junglers have finished their jungle items. Spirit Visage on the side of Vlad, getting that health restoration and the cooldown. Victor focusing on getting that Hex Core. It's on level 2 right now. It is a costly item, 1,000 apiece every time you upgrade it. Right now, Caitlyn with the Boyfriend Sword. Both people have Boyfriend Swords right now. And Sightstones on both supports. Slightly slow build up. Top lane and the upper junglers are doing their best right now, building their items. Getting it into the late game is going to be good for them. But right now, the bottom lane to mid is going back as Robin.
It's taking some damage here. My Little Pony getting him very low, but not able to finish off the kill. As we go into a pause here, very, very close very, very close in the top lane there. But My Little Pony not just enough damage. Despite having a Trinity Force and the Glimpse of the Void buff, he's going to need at least one more item if he wants to 100 to 0 Zen. Shed. Zen. Shen. That guy.
Oh.
With that being said, it looks like we're having a bit of a lag coming out of Zadro right now. So they're trying to diagnose that during this pause. So what I'd like to do here, Penguino, is I'd like you to walk us through where you think these item builds are going to go and where you think they're going to diverge as far as the champions building them. Who do you think's gonna hit their next big item spike next?
Well, right now, from what I'm looking at, I'm actually looking into the jungle side with them being close to equal on CS. It's 44-43 in favor of Elise, but Elise does have that 1 kill bonus, which gives a little bit of a bonus goal, but the 2 assists on Gragas allows him to then catch up. Right now, as I say that, there are the green spike and red spike. Red spike going to Elise, green spike going to Gragas. Gragas is one of the most efficient junglers because his kit allows him to do his job so well at positioning and controlling tempos of team fights and getting enemies where he wants them to be to then pick off in order. That being said as well, you have the green smite, which then increases the potential to cover with vision in the map. I think more of control gonna go eventually in the late game to EZG Gaming. On the other hand, you have Elise almost with, like I said, the kill advantage going into some more aggressive items. Gonna have to focus a little bit more heavily on the vision coming into the late game because she doesn't have that green spike. She has the red spike. Has to keep going and buying these pink wards coverage. This is some of the areas we have to keep in touch as far as everything goes because they are the middle ground as far as farming goes. And as I say that right now, we're going to go into the top lane section right here as we Shen and Aurelia. Aurelia is up with a Triforce, that damage CDR, all that good stuff. But Shen is going to build tank. That is what we normally see off of a Shen build. And with the double global presence with his ult and the teleport, this is something we would expect to see him probably go into another armor item, I would say. Nothing too much as far as AP. Shouldn't have to go into an AP defensive build just yet. Maybe just Merc Treads for the balanced out of the Gragas and the Vlad, but nothing too serious or demanding that warrants that right now in the early game builds. And nothing too much as far as I see anything else goes. Right now, we already see Spellthief's Edge getting built into the last item for Karma. Karma gonna have to go for that AP damage, but on the other side, Braum is going tanky, looking to fill that face of the mountain. But Targon's Brace right now at the moment with a Sightstone. Let's see what the reason is real quick, as we do have a message in the game.
Yeah, it looks like TeamSpeak is the issue that's happening here. Zadro may having a bit of an issue with TeamSpeak. That's what we're getting as far as stuff right now. They have about 10 minutes to figure it out before the game has to end or continue, depending. With that being said, one thing I want to focus on is that armor item that Shen's going to build. I actually think it's probably going to be a Randuin's in my mind, because despite Aurelia not having that crit chance from Trinity Force anymore, the crit chance being removing, I think that Elbolt himself, being on Ashe, getting crits, what are technically considered crits on every hit, will certainly warrant that Randuin's. And now we're back into game with what looks like a very dangerous pincer coming down. Vincier, Yillian, and it is Tuesday, having to flash to avoid that. There's a flash hit by Pinspike's head to get the Glacier Fissure down, followed by the Stand United from Robin on to Yillian. Robin's going to Shadow Dash in to try and hit Gamu. Gamu's going to E to slow down the fight. Zadro's going back in with a body slam and a W. Now he's going to Stand United. Ratchet King is joined. He's using the Chaos Sword. Zadro's getting awfully low. He's going to be getting close to dead, but Chaos Storm cannot get the final pick. Vince here and It Is Tuesday also very low, but they're going to back out. All this ends up meaning is that we do have a Shen ult burn, and My Little Pony picks up the tower in the top lane. 0 kills traded on either side. Like I said, 0 kills happening on either side of the match here in that team fight. going to keep things relatively even. But that tower gold for My Little Pony and that pressure in the top lane is going to push things to the side of Midnight Gaming to put the onus on them to start to do something, because they're starting to fall behind in terms of gold. They're about 3,000 behind right now. They really need to start thinking about where their next big advantage is going to be. And where do you think that advantage is going to be, Penguino?
Well, right now that EZG has taken top tower, we're going to see rotation starting to form up, and then focus more, I would recommend, on objective pushing, because right now they have extremely good team fighting skills, as we just saw a moment ago. Great know-how when to engage, how to disengage, that good stuff. I would then start to focus on the bot lane, because the bot lane is doing really well, and they are getting heavily pressured, as we do see their red turret fall on the bot lane, as I said before. So this is the where you're going to have to start tit for tat.
Zadro falling out the explosive cast, which actually Robin manages to avoid with the Shadow Dash. This seeing Zadro on the top side allows Vincier to make the call onto that Cloud Drake, because it is completely free at this point. Zadro's still sticking around on that top side of the map. He's probably not going to be able to get a gank off there, but they know where they are because there's that pink ward there. Robin not going to be able to contest that pink ward, but Wretched King is now on the other side of blocking Zadro here. That's going to be a kill over the Wretched King. An amazing amount of burst coming out of that QEQ combo for Victor. He's able to pick that up and get a Thunderlord's Decree proc off on it now. He's got his perfect Hex Core, so he's got a fair bit of AP now. He's probably going to be building into a Rylai's next to complement that.
Right now the rotation for Midnight Gamers is going to be mid. That's the one they choose. I would expect both teams to go for mid right now, as once you get mid turret, he's going to apply even more pressure and have a more dominant global presence.
Right, I agree with you there. There is going to be a big focus on this mid lane tower here. Pitch My Tent is going to do his best to block any sort of long-range auto attacks onto that tower. Braum is excellent in defending against sieges because of that. His wall is even better than Yasuo's in that specific regard, because it allows for mobile blocking. You can block whichever way the ADC tries to walk towards. So that's going to be something working in the side of EZG. Meanwhile, My Little Pony getting caught out trying to take this blue buff. He's going to have to flash over a wall to get away. Vincier picks up this blue buff. Actually, probably wanted to give that over the Wretched King, but Wretched King gets there second too late, and Vincier says, "This is my blue." Now, with all that being done, we actually see pretty much spread out across the map. We see a bit of a push happening in the mid lane on the side of EZG. Not a whole lot, though. But now we see Elbow getting the ult onto Wretched King. He's going to have to burn his Ghost to get away. The Glacial Fissure goes down as well. Wretched King actually burned his Flash and his Ghost to get out of that engage. It was a very heavy engage just to try and pick up Wretched King. And it did not result in a kill. So well played by Wretched King to get out of that. Maybe EZG trying to push their advantage just a little too much. They're going to want to continue to create picks, but they need to remember that Midnight Gaming is a team that has a lot of disengage and a lot of potential to turn with their own damage. So they need to play a little bit more conservative. Not much, just a bit.
Ever so slightly. Right now, Greg is hiding in the Raptor pit. And they get another turret for Midnight Gaming. And right now, we're going to see Baron is live. So this is going to create an interesting objective conundrum, because we are going to see the Baron option is now available. The Dragon option is about to come up. So we're going to see what they prioritize. Should it be either a Baron pick? Should it be a Baron bait? Should it be objective solely then? The turrets? What are we going to see from both teams as we see them develop?
Right. Baron does create an interesting dichotomy here about whether you stick with the Dragon route or whether you try to rush an early Baron. However, I do not think either of these teams has nearly enough damage to be able to rush an early Baron. I could maybe see Midnight Gaming doing it if they manage to force everyone in EZG back to the base, but I don't think that's going to be possible just because of how strong the EZG is right now. This Aurelia and this Vlad in particular are very, very adept, and they know what they're doing. So we see a bit of a bait here. A bit of a bait here by Ulayan. He's standing off here in himself. He's just trying to bait in the team because he knows he's got backup. Vincier managing to throw out that flash thing. It is Tuesday getting awfully low there. He's going to end up going down to Gamu, thanks in part to Elbow. We did see the Enchanted Crystal Arrow go down as a return stun when Vincier did not manage to land the Flash Cocoon. Now My Little Pony and Robin in the bot side fighting each other, so it's actually just a 1-for-0 exchange with It is Tuesday going down, having saved Vincier from that Enchanted Arrow. I want to highlight here that, just real quick, that both Vladimir and Elise have picked up the Hextech Proto Belt. So, what do you think of Proto Belt in general and on these specific champions, Penguino?
All right, now Proto Belt is actually one of the more preferred items right now. Out of the new Hextech items, Proto Belt is what we see more heavily used in competitive play with its CDR ability and also the AP scaling and the health. Extremely helpful, especially with the dash, with the active Firebolt. To dash and to deal 124 plus 36 damage right now. With a 40-second cooldown, it is extremely easy to use and well to aim and a low cooldown amount. It's a really good item as far as competitive play is concerned. Good choice.
Vincier here, he's going to miss the Cocoon, but they're still going to go in on My Little Pony. But the rest of the team is here. The Glacial Fissure goes down, followed by the Winter's Bite. You see Robin and the Vincier getting awfully low. Vincier's going to immediately go down to My Little Pony's Burst. Now we see It is Tuesday here. Gamu's going to flash over the wall to get some damage down onto Robin. It is Tuesday. He's just going to melt. He's the support. There's not a whole lot he can do. And we see that Proto Belt being used now by Gamu to close the gap. But Shen still manages to get away. I think he's Shadow Dash there. Camera didn't let us see it because it said, hey, there's ADCs in the top lane.
And I was going to say before that team fight happened and they took the major lead ahead, that Midnight Gamers right now have 2 towers to their 1, which is now not the case because of that great engage by EZG Gaming. What a great fight, what a great engage, what a great time to do the shot calling. Amazing shot calling and great plays by this team on EZG.
Yeah, you gotta hand it to Midnight Gaming, is that even when they're behind, they're still managing to keep their advantages as close as they possibly can. They're only 3,000 gold behind right now, despite only having a third of the kills. But they're gonna keep on fighting because this game is not lost by any means. There's very, very few towers down right now. We did see a tower go down in the top lane to the side of Midnight Gaming. They managed to pick up the top outer tower. That gold lead, now it's down to 2,000 gold. They're really starting to try and close this distance as much as possible, trying to stay in this game. It's really going to come down, I feel, to one decisive team fight once the game gets very, very late.
For sure, and both teams' lowest member right now is It is Tuesday with level 9. Everyone else peaking around 14 or 13. Gotta play catch up at this point.
Yeah, It is Tuesday. He had a few unfortunate times where he was caught out through no real fault of his own other than just being with his team and being a squishy support. So, a little bit unfortunate and unlucky for him there. But I'm certain that he'll be fine coming in, continuing on into this game with the shields, with the mantras, with the snares off of that W. I'm sure he'll be able to do just fine. My Little Pony trying to do a little bit of damage there, but the E actually goes off on a minion instead, so he's just gonna say, whatever, I'll go over here now. And we see that Midnight Gaming kind of spread out right now, whereas EZG just kind of trying to respond, trying to rotate in response to what Midnight Gaming is doing here. I'm interested to see where the next team fight's gonna break out.
Well, I believe the next team fight might break out around one of their last remaining turrets before you get into the inhibitor turrets. Because right now, Midnight Gaming has the advantage of having 3 to their 2. And having that map pressure and having the ability to strike at any of the remaining 3 outer turrets and prioritize objectives to gain a gold lead again, possibly evening it out, and also gaining more pressure on the map as far as once a tower goes down, probably going to be their 4th tower, it's going to be extremely detrimental to EZG to recover from that. And then they have to rely solely on their ability to team fight, because right now objectives are key to win. They are doing that CC rot on the bottom lane, helping them pressure that bottom lane, and to not lose it, to keep it intact while they roam around.
Yeah, that's going to allow Rovin to do his roving and help his team out while this Aurelia tries to push up this lane. very good decision to pick up that ZZ Route portal. I said Randuin's earlier, but I think this is actually a better choice. We do see the majority of Midnight Gaming hanging out in this mid lane. They look to try and go bot to catch this Aurelia, but they decided, there's a ward there, we should probably stick around here. So they're going to stay around in the mid lane. It's going to be a 4v4 fight as the two top lanes push in the bot lane. So let's see how this fight progresses, because I think we are going to see a bit of a fight break out here any second now. So I'll be ready to start yelling out ability names as it happens. But until that happens, Penguino, why don't you tell us a little bit about the 4-on-4 potential of these two teams?
Right now, 4v4 in the mid lane. Right now, Caitlyn's traps are well placed, covering mainly the entryways to even start an engage at this point. The only way you could do that is if you did the Gragas belly flop. And the wave coming up, which could potentially lead to the engage for Midnight Gaming coming up. I don't see it happening too close to their base at 200 turret. They have too much health on the turret for them to dive. It's too risky for EZG to do anything at this point until they start to engage for Midnight Gaming. Midnight Gaming has to initiate in order for EZG to even consider a feasible move at this point. Right now, EZG has a bunch of ward coverage on the bottom side, and that is where mainly all the action is going on from from Roven versus My Little Pony going on right now. Nothing's going to happen in the mid lane from what I'm seeing right now. They're just kind of feeling each other out, just kind of buzzing like ants. Buzzing like bees. Excuse me, not ants. Ants don't buzz.
Ants don't buzz. What are you talking about, Penguino?
Penguins don't fly.
Well, today I learned. Now, one thing I want to highlight here is that there is a red side minion push going on up there. Roven actually eats what I think was an enchanted crystal arrow to his face. Nothing really happened there, though, so we didn't actually get to see that. But what I was talking about is that EZG actually has a minion wave, but meanwhile, My Little Pony getting caught out by a cocoon from Vince here. He's going to have to flash an ult to get out of that. Pitch my tent. He's backing up with the shield up. Everyone's got to walk away from that, minus just one flash from My Little Pony. And we do have that minion wave crashing into the top tower now. That's going to be something that someone has to go look at as the dragon spawns in just 45 seconds. So this is going to be big for EZG because they're in a much better position to contest this. Right now, Midnight Gaming is kind of on the top side of the map. They're kind of spread out a little bit more. EZG could easily contest this dragon. It is going to be another water dragon, which I do believe that they picked up the first one.
Yes.
They did pick up the water dragon. The air dragon actually went over to Midnight Gaming. So EZG is going to try and pick up this second water dragon. Kind of hanging out in the pit right now. This is going to be Midnight Gaming's chance, or the chance that they think that they could take to rush that Baron. E-Bolt actually sees them go in, though. They managed to have at least one cheeky little vision thing there that let them see that it was going on to Baron. L-Bolt's actually going to fire out his enchanted crystal arrow. Not going to hit anyone. That forces them off the dragon, which means that they're just going to have to settle for this mid-tower, this mid-outer tower that stood for almost 30 minutes now.
I don't believe that they should have given up the dragon because that Ocean Break does do a lot of help as far as CDR and mana regen. So that could have helped extremely well in team fights and in setup and preparation because then they could have rotated into the mid. They should have let them try because I don't think Midnight Gaming had enough damage to take down that Baron in the first place.
Well, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Here we have them as 5 now sieging up this bot lane tower. This is going to be something that they're going to want to focus on here. They're going to try and set up a murder bush right here in this tri-bush. No one's going to fall for it yet. No one's falling for that. So they're just going to go ahead and try and get onto this dragon. There is a ward for Midnight Gaming on it. They're going to clear that out and then immediately go onto the dragon as 5. I don't think Midnight Gaming is going to try and contest this. Nope, no contest happening. We do see Midnight Gaming now has a very large minion wave of their own in the top lane, so that's going to push You're going to have to answer that with someone. My guess is My Little Pony, but you can never be too certain who they're going to send up there. Yes, it is going to be My Little Pony to answer that minion wave in the top lane. So now we have a little bit of a refresher for Midnight Gaming being able to push out and try and take control of these lanes again.
And we see My Little Pony finish 3 extremely hard damage items. Yumos, Bork, and Triforce. Crazy amount of damage with a little bit of the help from the Merc Treads. Probably going to go into Black Cleaver next as we see this health, this Ruby Crystal coming out of him.
I would have to agree with you there. Black Cleaver sounds like a good idea. He could always just build a tank item as well. He could easily go for any number of tank items or Giant's Belt items. Get some additional tanking out. I imagine even a Randuin would do well in this kind of situation. But we do see Midnight Gaming getting onto this tower. Robin gets hit with an enchanted crystal arrow followed by an explosive path. Now Zadro is without his ult, as is Elbow. But that's pretty much just going to force Midnight Gaming off the tower. They managed to get some help onto it, but now we see a read it. Legend goes down, followed by a flash. Robin goes in with the Shadow Dash. I think my 10's getting low, and Victor picks up the kill on the Robin. The explosive path is huge. Vince here has to repel to the back in order to get out, but he's still going to go down. Gabu's now getting really low. Robin's onto him. ATO is not going to be able to do anything, but
here comes the base race.
Yeah, Wretched King has gotten a kill, but now the base is going in. Aurelia is on the inhibitor. Now we see 4 members of Midnight Gaming racing 1 member of EZG. They're just gonna have to focus. They're just gonna have to they're gonna have to base race this, but I don't think My Little Pony can do it. He's only 1 person against 4. Pitch My Tent is going to have to be a major part of this if they want to get out of this alive.
The turret's going down. It's gonna do base race.
Oh my God! There's 1 turret left on either side. They're fighting in the base.
He can't do it.
Oh, the minions ran out. He's having to back out here, but Midnight Gaming is not. Actually, My Little Pony's gonna have to teleport into that remaining Nexus turret, which forces Midnight Gaming out of the base. Whew. It's kind of a base race. Inhibitor down on either side.
That was intense, man. What a push from both of these teams. Even though they were down, it's almost exactly even. 6-7. They're only down 1K. 6-6 in turrets. 2 dragons to 1. There's nothing much dividing these teams at this point.
Yeah, it really isn't. There's very little between them right now. Just 2,000 gold or less in between the 2 teams. Towers are equal. There's 1 dragon on the side of EGG ahead of you. So they have 2 dragons then. And 1 dragon on the side of Midnight Gaming. So this game is very close, and I think the speed is going to pick up considerably now that the bases have been cracked open.
We do have Shen with TP. Probably could go for that dagger net. The super minion wave is pushing extremely hard on that bottom side.
Yep, they're going for Baron.
Baron looking very feasible right now for Midnight Gaming.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be looking at this Baron right now. With the minions pushing in to EZG's base, this is a great time for them to start baiting this in. If someone comes around to try and check on it, they could easily pick someone off. But if the entire team comes in, the entire team on Midnight Gaming is not there to respond yet. Victor's hanging out in the mid lane, and Shen is in the bot lane. But My Little Pony is also in the bot lane, so this could be a very even fight. Looks like they're just going to all back out and head back to lanes to push some more. Yeah, they're all kind of hovering around this Baron. Who do you think has the better Baron kill out of these 2 team comps, Penguino?
Well, right now, from what I've been seeing, I feel like EZG might have the better advantage right now, especially with their engage. And the way they've been fighting in these team fights, especially with Aurelia, so stacked, so built with the Spectre's Calv now, has a little bit more magic resistance, can last a lot longer against this Midnight Gaming squad.
That is definitely something to consider here. Midnight Gaming looking to clear out the vision, but they haven't started anything yet. I think what they're trying to do is just create a sense of uncertainty around this Baron to force EZG to continuously play around it, which would force this Aurelia out of the bot lane and allow those minions to push in on the dead inhibitor. I think that's what they're trying to do here because it doesn't look like they really want to do the Baron themselves right now. Not sure why.
Probably going to wait for the inhibitors to respawn because they have been delaying this fight out for so long. They've been dragging it. We might be seeing the stages of the last fight. This could be, if this fight ensues, it could be the last fight of the game, leaving something extremely wide open with the pixels already cracked enough as it is. We're going to see split push from the Shen in the bottom lane, pushing this red wave away, but Aurelia going down to counter it.
Yeah, the Shen has a tremendous advantage here. He does have Stand United and Teleport available. My Little Pony does not have either. My Little Pony obviously not having a Stand United, but their Teleport is down as well, which means that if someone wants to take on either of these objectives, the entire team is not going to be able to respond when one is split pushing. Looks like Midnight Gaming is going to start onto this Elder Drake, but they're going to go ahead and back right off as EZG comes in. Both of these teams playing very conservatively against each other. They don't want to get into a big team fight just yet unless it's entirely on their terms. Oh, here's the mantra. That's
the engage.
Followed by a glacial kick. The Stand United comes in. Robin is on the backside. Pinfight Head's getting awfully low. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, it is Tuesday is also getting very low. But Yillian is on the backside, pumping iron into these people from that Piltover sniper rifle. Gamu's gonna have to rush his way out of there. Ruin inhibitors respawn. Gamu turns around. Not really sure why, to be honest.
3 down for EZG. What are they gonna do now? Now that only one, it is Tuesday, is the only one out with a 17-second counter on his. Are they gonna? They're gonna hit the Baron.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and start the Baron. I'm not sure if Tuesday is going to be up in time to receive this, but their opponents are going to notice that this is here. Elbow and My Little Pony are pinging out the Elder Drake. They're going to see if they can't get something onto that before they get collapsed on, but it doesn't look like they're going to go for it after all.
And It Is Tuesday was up barely, just a second away from not getting the buff, but ends up getting it.
Yeah, so that's all five members getting the Baron. It's actually a 500 gold lead, 400 gold lead, somewhere in there. 400 or 500 gold lead, just a couple hundred gold difference between the two teams right now, but it's in favor of Midnight Gaming, which is something we have not seen all game yet. So let's see if Midnight Gaming can continue this ability to pull themselves back around because they managed to recapture a gold lead that was in the favor of their opponents for a very long time.
Well, right now, Midnight Gaming, the only disadvantage they have is when they team fight against My Little Pony and all the rest of the squad on EZG. Separating them is crucial to their winning the success in team fights.
Yes, separating, you gotta divide them and get them caught out because they have so much combined power when they stand as a group. They've got a lot of tankiness. But now we see the Elder Dragon started again, this time by EZG. We're gonna have to see how this progresses here. We see the Vincier going in. He's threatening a cocoon, but has not put one in. Gillian putting down a line of traps to keep people away. Shen is split pushing, though. We do see the enchanted Crispero go down on the Vincier, but that engage doesn't come about to anything, and the Elder Dragon has basically reset now, and now Robin is onto an inhibitor tower. They're going to have to force My Little Pony to go back to get this Shen off the tower, but he does manage to get the tower. He's not going to be able to get the inhibitor, I do not think. He does have a Tiamat, though. Vincier engages with a cocoon. He's getting off the low. Glacier Fissure goes down, but Elbow manages to pick up the kill. Hero Play goes down, followed by It Is Tuesday. Yulayan goes down. It's now a full-fledged team fight. Meanwhile, My Little Pony and Robin up in the top lane are fighting as well. I really wish the camera was not focusing on them because there's a lot more going down in the bot side of the map. But My Little Pony is going to be able to pick up Shen there, and it's a massively favorable team fight to EZG. They lose only Zadro in exchange for everyone but Wretched King on the side of Midnight Gaming. It's a massive team fight. Now they only have, Midnight Gaming only has one person with Baron, and they're going to be able to get this inhibitor back, and they can start pushing. I'm getting a little bit low there. Nothing really to worry about. Elbow actually going straight down to just a straight up burst of Wretched kill. Wretched King getting another kill onto Gamu, picking up both and saving that inhibitor.
This back and forth is wearing and tearing at both teams, who are looking a little bit frustrated and playing more aggressive as we get this game going in, almost like in football in the fourth quarter. In the last few minutes, it's tied up. Who's gonna come clean? Who's gonna come up short? Who's not gonna make it? Who's gonna cave in first in these last stressful minutes of the game?
Very, very good question, and I honestly do not know. It actually appears that Robin managed to pick up the inhibitor during that. But now Midnight Gaming is onto the Elder Drake. They bounced right back from that almost ace, and they're trying to pick up this Elder Drake finally. It's been really contested. Now Robin's going in. He's Shadow Death. Wretched Kid's going down here. The Glacier Fissure goes down. Gonna force Push My Tent back, but he's getting awfully low now. And now Wretched Kid manages to pick up the kill, and the Enchanted Arrow comes in too late to stop them. They're now going to want to push in onto this open inhibitor and see if they can close out the game, because now they've got the Dragon Burn. They can do a lot of damage here.
So My Little Pony's gonna keep split pushing in the middle. Not a wise move as her team needs her. As they're about to push into the lane, here comes the base. Only one turret remaining with Gamu, about to get sized up. On the rest of them, here comes Wretched King.
And, well, the fight kind of just engaged there for a second, but really there's not a whole lot that EZG can do in this situation. Until My Little Pony comes in, he's absolutely tearing through their ranks, but Wretched King is still at full health. Roven trying to survive on just a little bit that he can, but My Little Pony gets a double kill. Excuse me. Julian's still alive. He's managing to pick up a kill, but Zadro's got his CC. Now it's down to Wretched King. He's all alone, and they manage to pick him up as well. That's an ace. Now My Little Pony is going to teleport into the mid lane, followed by the rest of his team. They're going to have to try and end it in 40 seconds or less, because if they don't, they may very well lose it, because there are two downed inhibitors. Two super minion waves are pushing into their base and will continue to push into their base. So if they cannot end it here, they will not be able to do it for another couple of minutes.
Crucial last minutes of the game. Who's going to come in clutch? As both teams have poised themselves to make it. Right now, Pitch Martin is tanking this last turret.
Vince here coming in. He's going to do his best. My Little Pony has got him stunned. He's going to go right in on Pitch My Tent. The guy he's tanking, he's going to go down. But now Elbolt is tanking. He needs to back up. And now the minions are here. He's managed to delay it long enough for a good amount of his team to get up. Midnight Gaming is now able to return this. My Little Pony gets caught here. He's going to go in on Gillian. He might be able to pick up the kill, but it is Tuesday. Blocks the Enchanted Cruciero, saving Gillian's life. My Little Pony gets caught by a Yordle Snap Trap, yeah, and goes down. It is now Midnight Gaming's advantage, because now two members of EZG are now dead.
50 seconds on My Little Pony. Their crucial team member in the Super Menu Wave is pushing on the bottom lane with one incoming on the top. What is going to be EZG's response? They're going to start farming, getting their buffs ready, getting ready to engage probably the last engage. Pitch My Tent spawns up. Now they have 30 seconds before My Little Pony comes up to take this mid tower.
Yeah, the mid tower is going to go down. They're going to try and push onto this inhibitor. EZG mounting as strong a defense as they can manage. They do have most of their big summoners and abilities up. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow is up now. Glacial Fissure will be up in just a few seconds. But the minions are just inexorably pushing, and now Midnight Gaming's like, okay, let's just take Baron. They need to defend their base. Let's pick up a Baron, and then we can push it at our leisure. That's what they're going to try to do here. Zadro is the only one that's going to be able to do much here. He's going to have to try and get a really clutch steal off. Oh, and he just the wrong time. He's gonna get pushed against that wall, and pretty much instantly annihilated. Pitch My Tent tried to help, as did L-Bolt, but it was just a little bit too late. Maybe if he had put a barrel over that wall for vision before he dashed in, that might have helped him. But in the end, it means that Zadro is now down, the Baron has gone over to the side of Midnight Gaming, and now the top inhibitor has respawned. Midnight Gaming is probably going to focus on taking that down while also sieging up this mid lane, while the bot lane pushes itself.
There's some really good fights right now. They're only like a couple 300 gold difference. Only one kill. This game has been clutch and close from the beginning. From the get-go, both teams showing their mantle, proving why they're here, why they're the top.
Why they're in the IAL here. But now they're pushing onto this turret. It goes down almost instantly with the combination of minions. Gamu losing about half his health. Now we see the Mantra shield coming in. The inhibitor is going to fall. Roven's leading the pack as he stands in front of his allies with that massive amount of health that only a ninja can achieve. He's going to be looking to maybe do a nice engage once these minions come in. That a Shadow Dash or a taunt from his Shadow Dash or a flaunt with a flash on top of it would be in order here. I feel like if he wanted to, Roven could pull off something very major, but they're just going to play it safe, stay behind the minion wave, and see how they're going to be able to push it in. My Little Pony is kind of farming on the bot side now. I think if My Little Pony wanted to do something, now would be the time. Glacial Fissure goes down, but really doesn't accomplish much. That's a cooldown wasted. Pitch My Tent will not have that up. The bottom inhibitor has respawned, so now Midnight Gaming has another target, and the target's already gone. Now they're having 3 super minion waves pushing in. This is going to make it very, very difficult for EZG to be able to push in. Oh, and here comes the fight. Racket King's getting off the most combination. He was playing a close to bear. Roven gets a 5-man taunt off. My Little Pony is going in on him, though. He gets Roven. Vince here getting awfully low.
No!
My Little Pony goes down to a burst of damage from the Chaos Storm. Zadro, his GA just came up, and now it's back down. So now we see Wretched King going down on it. Wretched King is actually going to be the one to end the fight, as there is very little help left on the team. Excuse me, Yillian and It Is Tuesday were just sitting there hammering on the Nexus. Anyway, so that is game 1 over to the side of Midnight Gaming. A well-played victory at 48 minutes. Very, very close game for the entirety of it, 21-19. But Midnight Gaming manages to pull it out.
All right, guys, thank you for sticking with us from game 1 of this best of 3 series. We'll be right back to give these guys some rest after that highly tense matchup. We'll be right back. Stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. This is week 3 of the IAL, the Imperial Amateur League. I am joined by my co-host, Canopenerdude. I am Paleo Penguino, and we are here for game number 2 in this best of 3 series between EZG and Midnight Gaming.
Hello, everyone. Yes, we are here, and we are doing the game thing. That is what we do. With that being said, let's skip the pleasantries and get right down to brass tacks here. Aurelia is banned. Hallelujah.
Let's see. Trundle, Chin, Aurelia, all of these people are banned. The Jin is still being banned out. Aurelia, with good reason, is being banned out because My Little Pony was wrecking it with Aurelia. Super duper lethal, especially when split pushing. Split pushing Aurelia with My Little Pony was super duper effective last matchup, and now it only warrants a ban at this point because once My Little Pony synced up with the rest of his team, it was game over, as Midnight Gaming did take game 1.
Yeah, Midnight Gaming did manage to pull out a win there, but My Little Pony on Aurelia did an excellent job. So I think besides the Aurelia, I think the bans are going to stay relatively constant. We'll most likely see Vladimir picked up again unless he's this last ban. With that all being said, I expect this game to be more of a cautious game from both teams. Midnight Gaming, they certainly had a very explosive win, but it was a very long game. They're going to want to be a little bit more careful in the early game so that they can try and build up a more sufficient lead before they start getting into these fights. Meanwhile, on the side of EZG, they realized that probably it was part of their aggression that cost them that last game. So they're going to want to play a little bit safer, see if they can try and get more picks as opposed to straight up team fights, and maybe have My Little Pony play a pony and see if he can be more of a team fight presence as opposed to just a split pusher. We also see Shen banned out, so no more Shen, no more Aurelia. Going to be a completely new top lane matchup this game.
This is a good way to see things progress as we see Midnight Gaming maybe looking to take away the Gragas pick from EZG, which they had last time. Gragas is, like I said before, a great jungler, really balanced, great for the engages, great for the disengages, great with that exploding cast to kind of position and engage and probably even pick off people you want to start with. What a great comp as Roven then takes away the Vlad.
Yeah, the Vlad could either be top or mid. We saw Gamu playing it last game, and now we see it picked away to the other side of the map. It's going to stay on the red side, but picked away to the other team. So we'll see whether that goes mid or whether that sticks to the top lane on Roven. Meanwhile, Gamu hovering that Malzahar, sticking with the buzzword champions, the flavor of the months with Malzahar, with Vladimir last game, just playing it safe. And we see Elbolt again favoring this Ashe. Ashe did fine in that game, but perhaps there might be another pick that Elbolt could pull out so that, he's not playing the same champion twice in a row, not revealing his strategy too much. We'll have to see how that goes. But now we do see the Braum, which, the Braum did fine. I mean, can't really improve on a Braum. He just does his thing.
Braum is a super efficient thing doer.
Thing doer indeed. And I expect he's going to continue to do very nice Glacial Fissures, Stand Behind Me, and Unbreakables this game, just like he did last game.
Very reliable with his Glacial Fissure, setting up the engages. And then last game, though, we didn't see the full efficiency of what a Braum is fully capable of. A couple missed ults here and there. Did do some crucial stand behind me's with the impenetrable shield. Not a Braum in the hands of a great support is an entirely different thing. It is a definite game changer. That being said, we didn't see the full potential of the Braum last game. But I hope we get to see that busted out of the gates coming out right now. As we see the Sivir coming in. Sivir is leading the ADC world right now as one of the higher picks in this current meta.
Yeah, lots of movement speed. That's going to synergize well with the Hecarim, who has currently Smite and Ignite, but now he's switched to Flash and Teleport. But yeah, that works very well with the Sivir. But on the side of Midnight Gaming, I want to point out that they did lock in the Gnar. So that means we will see the Vladimir going on to Wretched King. He's going to return the favor that Gamu showed him on that Vlad last game, put it back in his face, and Yillian actually stealing away Elbolt's Ashe. They showed it a little bit earlier. Might have been a fate to actually get Yillian to play it, but we'll just have to wait and see. Final pick, Jarvan Jungle for Zadro.
We haven't seen a Jarvan be picked in this while in a long time, especially in competitive play. As we do see them, it is Tuesday, starting to pick up the rest of it. Let's see what he hovers now as response to this Jarvan pick.
Well, it is Wednesday, so we'll have to see what It Is Tuesday is going to pick up for him. It looks like a Bard. That would certainly work well with an Ashe. That's a lot of CC stacking up there, and Ashe has a very strong level 1 as well because, those Frost Arrows, they could do some damage. But it's actually going to be a Janna, so a bit of a disengage there. That's going to help prevent the Sivir engage. Sivir and Hecarim come charging at you. You're just going to be like, no, you go back over there now. And then you're pretty much all set. So we'll have to see how It Is Tuesday fares against the amount of running into your face engage that EZG is looking to put out.
Let's see. Okay, so Janna with the setup. Probably a wise decision with this bottom lane comp that they're going with. Enough to do the poke, like we said before, Ashe and a support champion with extremely good poke is a really good harassing lane, especially with any bottom lane going with a Braum pick. But in this case, it is a Sivir, so it's going to be an interesting way to see how this thing starts to develop throughout the early to mid game, especially with these two junglers. Both of these junglers proving their mantle and extending their reach, both top and bottom lanes, making sure their presence is aware. But we did see Zadro with the Gragas last time, keeping heavy pressure in the mid lane, making sure his presence was known there, and doing some really good engages. But that being said, everybody, strap on your seatbelts, get ready for a ride, because here we go for game number 2 in the IAL between Midnight Gaming and EZG. Stick around.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Birds jumping and I hear my name, grasping into life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah. have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were sown. Kids across the land. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a ride. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a ride. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game 2 of this best of 3 between Midnight Gaming and ECG. I am joined live here with my man, my legend, my myth, my brother, Canopenerdude. How are you
There's
doing,
lots of things
Canopenerdude?
happening on my computer. Oh my god. Sorry.
The spaz himself, Canopenerdude. Canopenerdude, how are you?
I put a Q on the wall by the dream catcher. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, I'm excited to see what this match is going to be like. Are we going to see a 2-0? Are we going to see a 1 come back and go to a third game? We just see standard lines of scrimmage right now, but anything could happen at any moment. I do like the way that these teams have adapted their play styles, though. We do see more disengage in the form of Jana from the side of Midnight Gaming, and we see more of a murder ball run at your faces kind of team comp coming out of EZG. They're looking to do a lot of damage very, very quickly and stick together as a team as opposed to split pushing, which is what they did last time. So interesting to see how this turns out for them.
And right now, we do see both teams playing safer now because they know the extent of both potential. So we're seeing them be a lot more lax in the early stages, in the beginning phases of the laning. We're not seeing too many hits, too many invades, nothing like that. Nothing risky right now because both these teams now know how good each other is. They're practically even on the scales. Everything was just left to one misplay, one misstep on the opposite side, which led to the other side claiming victory for themselves. Let's see how the rest of this game develops as we start with Game 2.
It looks like there's going to be a bit of damage going down onto Elbow. It is Tuesday, has a bit of an interesting ability to poke at those very early levels. Being Jana, you just put your shield on yourself, get some bonus AD, and just go and we'll just kind of throw out a little bit of damage. It's annoying. It doesn't do a whole lot, but it is rather interesting to see. And Robin doing a bit of damage to My Little Pony. That's going to be actually a reverse of what was going on last game. My Little Pony being on Aurelia last game was able to do quite a bit of damage onto Shen for most of the game, and it looks like Robin's trying to return the favor this game.
Yeah, and then Roven with a Gnar. Best of both worlds, engage and durability. See how the mastery of this champion can go into his favor as Zadro is waiting patiently in the mid lane. Like we said before, last time on Gragas, Zadro was heavily focused on this mid lane early game to kind of give the advantage to one specific lane and then begin the rotations around, giving everyone a helping hand.
Yeah, Zadro did an excellent job on that Gragas last game, trying to keep his team ahead. We'll have to see how he can leverage that now that he's playing a bit of a different champion in this Jarvan. Bit more damage, a bit less CC, but still a very, very strong, I won't say laner, but very, very strong as far as individual damage goes in the terms of straight up smack you in the face, damage that Jarvan can put out in this team comp. I'm sorry, I'm full of hiccups today, so
Nah,
if I'm constantly stuttering, that is the problem.
Hiccups is the name of the game in League of Legends, my good man. As we see some misplays, My Little Pony trying to deal with this heavy poke from the Gnar in the top lane.
Trying to sustain with the Spirit of Dread, I believe is called. That's going to be what he's going to try and sustain with in this top lane, because he's going to be kited all to hell by Roven on this Gnar, and I think that's what Roven is going to focus on more than anything. Vincier coming in, he just barely misses the body slam, but manages to get a good bit of damage off. But now we see My Little Pony and Roven fighting. My Little Pony pops the ghost. That's going to be a flash bird for Roven, and he does get the kill. Roven goes down after using his flash a bit too aggressive when he went into Mega Gnar there. My Little Pony was able to turn it around with the help of his Q. When it charges up onto 2 stacks, it does actually a fair bit of damage, even at level 4.
With that being done in the top lane, we are going to see this aggressive top laner by nature, My Little Pony, get the first blood and start his rampage. He is down 2 CS, but it doesn't matter at this point. With that kill, bonus gold are only going up by 200 gold. That advantage to building an item as he builds his first item, which is the Sheen, with a 10% CDR and 250 mana. That sustaining the top lane is going to be a lot better for My Little Pony on that pony champion of his.
Yeah, he's going to certainly have some fun. We see that Vincier is actually hanging out in this mid lane now. He's going to see if he can get a gank off. Body slam, clears the wall, doesn't hit Gamu. We're just going to reset here. Vincier trying to have a whole lot of presence here. No kills on him just yet, but he's certainly applying a whole lot of pressure here.
You notice how the Jarvan is quietly waiting around, not letting his presence be known, not getting caught out by wards, not being so visibly out in the open like the Gragas right now. There's only 1 CS difference between the 2 junglers, but right now everyone knows where Vincier is because he's made his presence known in the mid lane too much. They know he's camping, but Jarvan has been hidden the entire time as he's going up in the top lane right now in game.
Oh, and Roven actually misplaced that ult there. My Little Pony was able to survive it and manages to pick up a kill on him again. That pony is now 2-0. The ult did not work for him there. Wretched King getting awfully low here. He's going to go in on Gamu, but I don't think he's going to be able to do enough damage to really do much else other than sustain. This is looking kind of dangerous to the top lane now. Roven is now 0-2. He's going to have to do something in a big way here if he wants to stay ahead. Now, Vincier is here. He's actually going to get towered. Gamu was level 6, and Ratchet King gets executed after burning his flash and Ghost to try and back up his jungler. Big misplay there on the side of Midnight Gaming, granting another kill to the side of EZG. I think Midnight Gaming really needs to calm down here and see exactly what they can do going forward. They need to reassess their battle strategy.
For sure. My Little Pony looking to build Triforce early on in the game, and rightly so with 2 kills on his tech right now. He is the aggressive one, setting up everybody. Right now, everyone is playing exactly the way they need to, and keeping this tempo is exactly what they need to do to win this game out against this almost equal team of Midnight Gaming. But Midnight Gaming, as we said before, they have proven that they have played from behind last game slightly. This is a 1K difference right now, nothing too big. They can come back from this. It's only the early game. This comp of theirs scales amazingly well towards the mid-game power spike.
Yeah, that's something to certainly say about the mid-game. We're going to have to see how that progresses. One thing I do want to highlight, though, is the CS right now. Roven does have a 20 CS, or about a 10 CS lead, actually, over My Little Pony, despite being down 2 kills. In the mid lane, we see that Wretched King has about a 10 CS lead over his opponent. It's the bot lane where Vincier misses the flash body slam and just kind of walks out with a shield. And also, 10 CS lead in the favor of Elbow. Gillian really needs to step up his game here if he wants to stay ahead in this bot lane, because it's going to come down to him to do a lot of the carrying. Vladimir cannot be a carry champion. He can support the carry and he can do a lot of damage, but it's going to come down to Gillian to carry, and so far he's not living up to that, being out-farmed by a Sivir. Oh, and we see Roven again getting ganked here. Zadro pushed down the ult, but he gets pushed out of it, but My Little Pony still manages to pick up the kill. That's 3 kills onto the pony now, despite Roven burning the flash again. So now that's all 3 kills. Well, 3 of the kills. On the side here, Vincier going in on Gamu, trying to do some good damage. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow misses. He's supposed to cast goes down. Gamu picks up another kill onto Vincier, and now he's turning onto Wretched King. Wretched King is awfully low. Gamu manages to flash over the wall and escape, and now Wretched King has to run for his life, but Zadro's there to catch up to him. A few well-placed smacks to bring him down. Gillian's now getting pretty low, and it is Tuesday, and Gillian are running for their lives. Elbow flashes and picks up Gillian. This is turning into tragedy for the side of Midnight Gaming, and now Zadro flashes to try and catch up to the support, followed by another flash from Pitch My Tent. None of them will be able to get onto them, but the Infernal Drake will go down. Now, heavily in EZG's favor, as all 3 lanes are swinging into their hands.
7-0 in 10 minutes, up by 2K gold and 1 dragon. What a way to start this game for EZG, as they have the potential to carry this into the mid game, probably end it by 20 if they can choose to.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. That's a good point. Who do you think's going to hit their item spike next? That'll be the one that's going to start deciding these team fights.
Well, for right now, it's undoubtedly My Little Pony on that Hecarim has 3 kills, 71 CS, is leading the pack. Well, he's second place right now in the scene, but almost done with his Triforce and already finished Swifties. So he's about to have 2 items fully finished. That being said, he's more than open to just finish the rest of the set and start to build a new item in the process. So My Little Pony is already dangerous enough as it is in the top lane if you leave him alone. But once he has all this support, all these kills, and this much momentum, forget about it. It's pretty much over. You need to start focusing on other lanes and getting more objectives.
Yeah, we do see Vincier up there, but I doubt there's going to be much he's going to be able to do to help Roven in this lane. Roven cannot 1v1 this Hecarim at this point. Roven is way too far behind. So now we're going to have to see. I don't think Vincier and Roven together could take this Hecarim down. Especially not with Zadro hanging out in the team as well. We'll have to see how this progresses here. Zadro, again, camping this top lane. They're focusing a lot onto My Little Pony here. If he performs as he's been doing into the mid game and further on, this is going to turn out to be a very wise investment for them. But if the Hecarim falls off, if someone's able to shut him down and then keep him down soon, then it'll all be for naught. So we'll have to see how that turns out going forward here.
About 13 minutes in, first tower dropping in favor of EZG. Spiking that gold lead to 3K as they start to pursue this jungle, invading, getting all the camps for themselves, and pressing this bottom lane right now. Pitch My Tent doing whatever he can to stick this lane alive, but is helpless right now in the moment.
Yeah, that tower is getting awfully low. It will not go down onto this push here. But Pitch My Tent actually firing off Glacial Fissure as My Little Pony comes in from behind and picks up a kill on to Gillian, and now it is Tuesday getting awfully low. He's going to get minion blocked slightly, which means My Little Pony picks up another kill. He's now 5-0 after wiping the bot lane now, able to exert pressure on every side of the map, which is something that's very, very important. He needs to now help the rest of his team and push all the other lanes into a heavy advantage the way his is gone.
In the words of the Snapchat philosopher DJ Khaled, another one.
Another one indeed. And that is the story of My Little Pony this game. Wretched King, getting really low here. He's gonna flash and just kind of stand up. Now we see Robin and the Vincier picking up the Rift Herald. That's gonna go over to Robin. I hope that's gonna help him. It certainly will not hurt in this top lane matchup, but now Hecarim is 5-0. He's got his Trinity Force. He's a force to be reckoned with.
And building cloth armor, only what I can assume might end up becoming randomins or something along those lines. Maybe
I'm thinking
even
Frozen Heart.
Frozen Heart, I probably could see that happening as well.
Frozen Heart, because he's got that Sapphire Crystal as well. He cannot build it into Frozen Fist because he already has the Trinity Force. So I imagine we're going to see a Frozen Heart going in on him, unless these are two separate items altogether.
It never hurts except to build two separate core little items first that can help you in the potential long run and then help you build up that gold lead as you progress into the farming stages. But that being said, we're going to see them start to capitalize. My Little Pony split pushing, conquering this top lane, putting some aggressive wards down in the top jungle as Evil and Pitch My Tent aggressively push this bot lane, setting up whatever they can and just preparing everything for the possible next engage move as Jarvan and Hecarim at the top, seeing the Gnar, planning the next move.
All right, that sounds like a good idea. And what we're gonna have to watch here specifically is how Midnight Gaming plays from behind, because they have to play very, very safe now. They have to figure out where they can make an advantage. They're gonna have to try and find some picks for themselves and use those picks to stretch any sort of lead that they can gather. Because right now, everything's against them. 5,000 gold, they're down 9 kills, they don't have a dragon, they don't have any towers. They need to take picks and just build little things right on top of each other and keep going up and up. Oh, right now we see My Little Pony going right in. Roven is hitting his Mega Gnar though, so My Little Pony will have to back out of that tower dive. You do not want to have to deal the Gnar as soon as he goes Mega. So instead, EZG is going to try and push down this mid tower. Vincier and the crew are there to help back that up. Team's kind of circling around the map right now.
Definitely. And what can you do against this team of EZG? The way they're all hyped up right now. Support 0 and 4th, participating in a little bit over half the kills right now. And here comes the engage.
Yeah, and that's Vincier getting really low. The turret goes down as a massive ult comes out from My Little Pony. Roven picks up Zadro. My Little Pony also goes down. Now Roven is starting to get big, but he goes down to a nether grasp from Gamu. So that's going to be a 2-for-2 exchange because Yillian went down in that fight as well, just kind of nominally off to the side. That's a 2-for-2 exchange there, but that's actually very big for Midnight Gaming. A 2-for-2 exchange when they're this far behind is very good for them. It is going to mean EZG is going to pick up this Cloud Drake, but it does give a little bit of gold onto some much needed champions. And now we see the team is just kind of resetting the farm a little bit.
And let's see how Midnight Gaming recovers from this huge deficit. as they begin to start to put defensive wards in the jungle, trying to see what they can salvage as far as jungle camps go, setting up the lanes, making sure they're not being overly pushed. Probably going to build a ZZ Rock to help with the push on the top lane. That would be more wise.
Yeah, push on the top side would be a good idea for them. We'll have to see how they advance this. I'm just looking at this map now. I'm trying to figure out what Midnight Gaming could do to continue to try and build off whatever slight lead they've been able to pick out. And picking out My Little Pony is one certain way to do it. My Little Pony has to use his ult to speed out of there. That's actually 2 ults used on him. He does manage to speed out of there though, so nothing picked up just yet.
Good job by Midnight Gaming capitalizing on that. And Gamu getting seen.
Oh, that's on the hunt. They're going to come in here to only be knocked up by a Janna Tornado. This is what I was talking about in Chancellor. Janna can basically say, no, we're not feeling that engage. Put that Tornado in the right place. It can completely stimmy a team. Ooh, Yillian, you got to be careful here. You don't realize that Zadro's right there. Now, he's able to kite back a little bit. They're going to have to back out of this tower engage here. My Little Pony is awfully low.
Oh!
Wretched King is going to go in and pick up My Little Pony. That's a good idea. The flash is go out for Elbow and Gamma. Now the wall up comes in. Elbow getting awfully low. Glacial Fissure goes down. Across the wall, Vince here getting awfully low. He's going to fall to Zadro. But now Elbow's going down to Wretched King. Now we see Pitch My Tent is here. I'm about to sneeze. Zadro is continuing to run away, as is Pitch My Tent. He's going to flash into the Dragon Pit. That basically makes him a sitting target unless he can stand behind me over the wall to Gamu. He escaped. Good news is, I don't have to sneeze anymore.
Look at this. Just in those few moments of that engage, they close the gap to only be 4K gold as opposed to 6K. They're down 8 kills. Finally getting 4 and a tower to boot. What a revamp for Midnight Gaming. As we progress into the mid game, 20 minutes in, they're still kicking and screaming like a newborn giraffe flopping from the mother in the middle of a safari.
Okay, we're gonna move away from that analogy and move on to analyzing just how these items build are advancing, especially in this bot lane. We actually see very, very similar items build, but it's actually Elbow that's slightly ahead. He has a kill under his belt, he has more assists, and he has about 100 more farms, so he's able to pick up that Kerchase Shard on top of Gillian. Vince here, laughing in the face of that pony. My Little Pony, their Little Pony, cannot do anything there. The Little Pony. He is KIA. Well, he will be. Well, maybe he won't be. He was twice. He was KIA. Oh my goodness, it is Tuesday! There is no more Tuesday. Tuesday has been destroyed.
No more turning up on a Tuesday.
Welcome, folks, to the 6-day week. With that destruction of yesterday, that hericide, as it were, we're going to move into what appears to be a bit of a siege. Elbow wants to try and get a little bit of mana off that, but Vincier's not going to let him. Roven is actually going to get onto My Little Pony here. He doesn't get the tower onto him just yet. There is one tower shot going. Rowan does a little bit of damage, but My Little Pony's just going to walk away. My Little Pony could still do an engage. He's got about half health. Wouldn't recommend him being the primary engage force here, though. Yillian whiffs the arrow. Story of that ultimate this game. Yillian whiffs the arrow. But here's the hoping that we'll finally get a really nice one off soon.
Exactly. Right now, we're seeing these two teams kind of feeling each other up, setting, making sure they get a good playoff, counterbalancing each other, and just dancing right now, trying to get each other on their weak heels. Nothing going on. And we know how good Midnight Gaming is once they engage. If they control the tempo and the time of the fight, that's it. It's over with. Extremely well positioned, extremely well mechanically balanced, and extremely gifted, talented players individually. So that being the skill set that they have on their team, it is dangerous for EZG to even let them start a tempo of a fight.
Yeah, EZG needs to remain in control of these fights if they want to stay ahead in this game. Because as you said, Midnight Gaming has proved that they have the ability to turn fights around when they're able to dictate how those fights begin. Now, EZG is no slouch when it comes to mechanical talent, but they need to stay on top. They need to stay on target, and they need to stay on top of their engages. They need to find their win conditions, and they need to push on them, because one thing that Midnight Gaming does not have the ability to do is they cannot staunch bleeding. Once they start slowly losing gold, it just keeps on building. So I think what EZG needs to do here is allow fights to only progress when they're absolutely sure they can win, and otherwise just press objectives elsewhere. Disengage, stay away from the fights, because Midnight Gaming does not have the ability to engage properly unless the stars align. So they just need to stay. EZG just needs to stay ahead and remain on that side.
Oh!
This here manages to steal the dragon, and now a team fight's breaking out. Wretched King does get a nice Hemo play off. No one's died yet. Glacial Fissure goes down to try and heal, but Pitch My Tent is now getting very low. He is going to go down to someone. And My Little Pony actually gets pushed back by the edge of that monsoon to keep him from engaging on the backside. So it's a 1-for-0 exchange in the favor of Midnight Gaming, and they pick up an Infernal Dragon off of that as well.
One little tidbit I do want to mention before we progress any further is notice how Midnight Gaming is playing right now. Extremely, extremely happy and excited for this type of gameplay, to watch this kind of thing. A huge kudos to the coaching staff and to the players individually and the shot callers for making
Here comes another grab. Gillian is going to immediately go down. Robin's going to try and return with a nice Gnar into Wallop. Zadro's getting awfully low here. Can they return the damage onto him? My Little Pony's going to try and do what he can, but he's getting CC'd. He is down, and they trade My Little Pony for Gillian. A worthy trade for the side of Midnight Gaming, considering Gillian's scoreline and considering My Little Ponies.
They have been a wall, Midnight Gaming. They have, as soon as they start to build the items into the late game, once they start to develop their full kits and builds, they have built this wall that they could not. The split push up top was going extremely well, but now haven't been able to get any damage under that top turret. That being said, also the mid and the bottom turret, they try and try and try. EZG tries so hard to push, but letting them stretch the lead out to the late game. Midnight Gaming has finished some item builds and has been able to sustain themselves in outlasting EZG and just completely stopping their momentum and then taking it for themselves with these huge team fights that they're able to control.
Yeah, well, one thing I do want to mention is that the momentum, the ball is still on EZG's side. While Midnight Gaming is doing an excellent job, we gotta stress they are still behind. So they do not want to get ahead of themselves yet. They haven't won the game. They haven't won the fight just yet. They need to stay on their toes. They need to keep the momentum swinging in their favor. They cannot allow themselves to think, oh, we've got ahead, now we're fine. No, it's not there yet. It's not there. But it's starting to. They're starting to turn it around. Now they need to look at Gamu, because Gamu has quietly become 4-0-4. He's slowly building up a very, very strong piece of Malzahar there. So, next thing on the agenda for Midnight Gaming should be find a way to catch Gamu out. Gonna be difficult with his passive, but they need to find a way to single him out and get him down before he can nether grasp someone into oblivion, because they need to start taking trades that's totally in their advantage and not just even.
Yes, totally agree with you there, partner. As we see what could potentially be a huge pivot point of a team fight at this point right now. Note that right now, EZG is up 1 turret and 1 dragon, and that was highly different from the game before, as Midnight Gaming was down 3 turrets and down 2 dragons. But look at the momentum comeback right now. It's fun to watch, it's fun to cast, and it's extremely revealing of the type of quality of team that Midnight Gaming has established in their rosters and in their ranks. Good job on both sides right now. Great gameplay by both teams.
Yeah, and I do want to highlight here, just to balance out and play devil's advocate. Well, for one, EZG is standing on a board. I want to point that out. And we know that Midnight Gaming knows. I don't think EZG knows that Midnight knows yet, though. So now we see how is this going to progress. Vincier is off to the side here. He's already proven that he can outsmite Zadro. Wretched King immediately getting bursted down though. That's one down. It's going to come down to Vincier's ability to outsmite here. He's going to need to do this. And he does it! He does it! He gets another smite. Zadro again getting outsmited by Vincier there. Vincier playing absolutely to a T, and My Little Pony going down. This is what I was talking about. They trade 1-for-1 in kills, but they pick up a Baron on a steal, and Vincier still gets away. Holy crap. This is what I'm talking about when I say they need to start taking completely favorable trades. They can't just trade 1-for-1 anymore, and they don't in that situation. They pick up so much advantage there, not only having Baron themselves, but preventing EZG from having it. That completely retards their ability to push, which makes it that much easier for Midnight to come back into something. And now Zadro's getting low. He's going to have to try and run away, but Yillian picks up the perfectly calculated volley to kill him. That's another kill going on. Now the goal is within 3,000. It's actually closer to 2,000. 2,500. Almost exactly.
It's about to get closer.
It's now 1,000, 1,500 gold, and they're going to keep pushing, and they can. They've got an excellent minion in tower.
Whoa!
Vincier's just going to say, get the heck out of here. Probably wanted to toss someone forward, but hey, what the hell? They pick up another tower. The gold's close to within 1,000.
Now they're in the lead as objectives go. 4 turrets to 3, and they're looking for more blood and turrets as they're looking to push this bottom tower. What a way to do it. You can. Why not? Keep going.
Yeah, just keep on pushing. They've got so many minion waves here. They're going to use their Wazer Wiples to push in on these waves.
This has been such a great game so far. They're now within 1,100 gold of each other, and they're looking for the second dragon of the game. Being a mountain drake, great for siege, exactly what they need.
That's actually an air strike.
It looked brown. Sorry.
It's a brown air strike, but here it comes the engage. Glacier Fisher goes down. My Little Pony is going to go in. It is Tuesday. Is going to use the monsoon to try and stay alive here. Roven has gone Megadar. He's going to force back 4. While My Little Pony is taking on 4 on the other side. The top laner is really putting up a vanguard here. But now Yillian's gone down. That's going to be a favorable trade for this side of... Well, actually, it's going to be kind of even, but more to the point is that My Little Pony was able to hold off 4 while Roven was doing the same thing. So both of these top laners playing very, very, very well. But
exactly.
In the end, this trade comes out in advantage to the side of EZG because despite the fact that Midnight Gaming got the dragon, it was a cloud dragon, so it's only movement speed. But now they have more people to siege with for a little bit of time. Wretched King is going in here, but now we're going to see what looks like a counter engage. Not a whole lot to do there. Goes down, but
great gameplay, smart decisions to just get rid of the waves, clear the waves, give yourself some time to regroup, get the items built, and then just go back and recuperate yourselves. While there's no huge precipice of waves pushing against you for Midnight Gaming, as EZG is doing the same thing, clearing out some waves whenever they can, getting some vision into jungles, and clearing out their camp so that they are fully ready for the next engage. What a game!
What a game. What a game.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here comes the game. Roven is here alone, and Elbolt and My Little Pony are trying to get onto it. Pitch my chances here as well. Roven is going to go down. That's another, well, Roven had already died, so that still preserves the Baron buff on the few that have it, but it's going to be timing out fairly quickly.
Top lane being pushed by the bottom. Let's see how that goes as they start to recall. They're calling the assistants down in the bottom lane. EZG is, as they're going to start to siege turrets. Trying to get the lane back.
And
oh!
Ooh.
Good mechanics.
Camu, can he get away? The minion block actually stops Vladimir from picking that up. But on the bot side, EZG picks up another tower. Vince here is here in the middle of the team. Now, My Little Pony gets caught by the King Flare. He's going to have to ult and get the ult from Pitch My Tent in order to get away. They're peeling away. So
Look at that
kind
big
of
wave on the top lane.
yeah, kind of a moral victory there for Midnight Gaming, being able to get the team out. Now Vince here gets caught by a murder bush. He's just gonna straight up go down. Little bit too aggressive by the Vince here there. And now we see a Sivir ult to run away this time. We see Roven teleporting in. That's just gonna be for a push though. They're gonna stick around in this mid lane and just kind of group up and see what they can do.
Probably going to start setting vision up around the barrier pit because it is going to yell in a minute, 30 seconds.
Yeah, that is definitely something here. Now, what I want to ask you is, where do you think EZG and Midnight Gaming stand now? Are they on equal footing? Who has the momentum at this moment, Penguino?
Right now, it is equal in terms of objectives. EZG is up 4K gold and up 10 kills. That being said, they are on equal footing in my opinion, because even though the lack of kills is in contrast to Midnight Gaming, Midnight Gaming's mechanical team fighting dueling skills have been nothing short of clutch and on point.
And the pauses have been on point too. Woo!
Exactly. But as I was saying, it doesn't, the gold lead at this point is sort of, it's not irrelevant, but it's not that relevant at the moment, because even though EZG has a lot of items finished, Midnight Gaming has enough items finished. Enough being the key word, because that's all they need. Getting more is going to be a hell of a lot harder for EZG to do anything, but for now, Midnight Gaming has enough to make a difference, because they are all gifted players, and they've been able to keep this dragging out to 34 minutes, 29 seconds, and even look like they have chances of just completely dominating the rest of the late game. So, skills for stats is why I think they're on equal footing at this point in the game.
All right, it looks like Zadro had a bit of a lagging issue right there, but we are back in the game here. I hope Zadro, I hope his computer doesn't die. He seems to be having a bit of some issues tonight, but game's going okay. We're gonna see what's going on. Zadro right now is gonna freak out trying to kill that scuttle crab. I know, or not scuttle crab. What the hell is that thing? That's a weird thing.
A big scuttle crab.
It's a big scuttle. I think they had names at one point. I don't know. I still call them. I call them chickens, and sometimes I call them wraiths. Because you know, wraiths, they're a thing that they existed at one point.
Yeah. Also raptors. Chickens are raptors.
Oh, Pitch My Tent actually throwing the Glacial Fissure in the other direction here. Maybe not the smartest move there, but it does disengage the fight quite handily and save his life.
We're going to see some... This is all going to come down to the shot calling. Will the leaders in the team step up and carry their teams to victory? Who's going to take that leadership role? Who's going to take the stress into the very end of the battle? This is all what it is teamwork, great shot calling, and just seizing the moment when an opportunity arises. Who's going to take the lead? Will it be Midnight Gaming or EZG? This is some tense moments building up right now as we approach the end of Game 2 in the IAL. Thank you, everybody, so far for sticking around. I know it's a little late, but we do appreciate you sticking around and watching and keeping us alive in chat. Tell us who you think is going to win. Raise up your hashtags. Hashtag EZG for EZG win, or hashtag MKN for Midnight win thing. Yes. Raise your dongers, chat. Give us your energy as we'll need it for the rest of this exhausting match, but exciting nonetheless.
Woohoo! Whoa! Hello, Zadro. He's going in, and that's going to be a massive engage. It is Tuesday getting kind of low there. Vince here caught out. My Little Pony is now on 4 again. Vincier is going to go down. Rogan is Mininar. He just changed into Mininar, but now Helion has some ability to fire out some arrows. It's only one kill, and it's Vincier having gone down here. We'll have to see what goes out here. Wretched King trying to do a little bit of damage. Pitch My Tent is very, very low, but so is It Is Tuesday. They have a whole member up here on the side of EZG. They're trying to draw out the Elder Dragon. I think they're trying to bait a fight here. I imagine that EZG believes that they can win the 4v5. But I don't believe that Midnight Gaming is going to fall for it. Teams are going to reset.
Smart move by both teams, not pressing their luck, because what happened last time is one simple mistake in rotation, in an engage, in split pushing, is all it takes for the other team, which is equally as skilled, if not better, to take advantage of and capitalize on that open opportunity and possibly end the game. So good job on both teams for playing this smart and calculating their next move. They don't want to get pressure on the top lane, so the wave clearing on the top is great and crucial. And there's a big bottom wave coming up, and we'll see if Wretched King is going to go and capitalize and get some more farm as he's looking to look for it. As he's probably going to get it right now.
Yeah, Vincier is here. He sees My Little Pony on the side there. They're going to pretty much run away from each other. My Little Pony could probably take him, but it would take forever. But because they saw the jungler on the top side of the map, they're going to try and sneak this Elder Dragon. This would be big for them because they do have an Infernal Drake and a Cloud Drake. That would certainly be a very strong Elder Dragon for them. Vincier, he's going to try and steal it again, but he's going to actually back right up. It Is Tuesday has Malefic Visions onto him. He's getting awfully low. He's going to go down to My Little Pony. Now Roven is taking some damage. As is the Elder Dragon, there's no way that Vincier is going to be able to steal this one. It is actually going to reset a little bit, but EZG doesn't care. They'll be able to pick it up nonetheless. And now they can head over towards Baron if they'd like.
Baron is heavily warded, but we do have some vision trinkets on the side. We could probably clear out the vision ward. Both Oracle Supers are up.
Yeah, they're going to go immediately onto the Baron here. This is going to be Vincier trying again to do everything that he can to steal this. And he does it again! This man is insane! Holy shit! Holy crap! Someone hire this man! That's 3 times! That's gotta be absolutely demoralizing for EGG, and especially Zadro. That's 3 times now he's been outsmited by the Vincier. His name is living up to its expectations. Fun fact, Vincier, or as I was pronouncing it earlier, Vincere, Vincier in Latin means to conquer. And that is certainly what Vincier's trying to do here today.
Yes, yes, yes. That Baron steal just keep this game alive for Midnight Gaming, as they're now on equal footing again with buffs and items as they're finishing up the last of their kits. Man, oh man, what a great game this has been so far. 2 Baron steals, a Dragon steal, and some incredible teamwork the entire time as the 5th tower is going to go down in favor of EZG Gaming, setting up a gold lead, which is 5K.
Right, one thing I want to mention though is that this Elder Dragon buff is already almost gone. It's got maybe an 1/8 left of its duration. They won't be able to do much more with it. Whereas the Baron is gonna last a whole heck of a lot longer. It's not even half gone yet. So now it's gonna be on Midnight Gaming to be able to capitalize something here. They want to do a fight. They want to pick a fight here, but they need to do it on their own terms. So I imagine that their shot caller is saying, okay guys, let's set up for a fight. Let's try and find one we can do on our terms. As Yillian shows us just how masterful he is at this Ashe.
Probably looking to cut out, maybe even synchronize all over My Little Pony. My Little Pony, though, is going to be roaming around, trying to get some camps in, with some durability. Planting some wards defensively. Clearing this top wave too, which is pushing all over.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading chat. Anyway, now we see the engage comes in. That's elbow.
Oh!
immediately annihilated.
Oh,
and Camu
he's a
still
cutout.
gets hit by the arrow. He's gonna flash and go down. That's Camu's first death in this game. That's exactly what Midnight Gaming wanted to do. That's exactly what I said not 2 minutes ago. Now they can push. Now they can siege. It's 3v5. Glacial Fissure goes down, and here comes My Little Pony. He wasn't in that fight. Vincier gets stunned under tower, but he's not taking the aggro. Roven is now in Mega Nard form. Vincier completely fearless. Body slamming in here. They're going to be able to pick up this inhibitor entirely for free. They're going to try and win off this. They're going to continue to push in. They have the Baron empowered minions for just a little bit longer. They have a cannon minion there. They might be able to do this. This might be the come from behind victory that no one expected from Midnight Gaming. Midnight Gaming is coming in. Pitch by 10's trying to do something. My Little Pony as well. Gillian managed to stay alive just barely as the teams are falling around them. Now Roven picks up a kill, followed by Gillian. It's gonna be over. That's it. That's done. Fitz here picking up all those smites, and then the come from behind victory. They just sweep into the base. Brilliant engages by the entire side of Midnight Gaming. MVP though, Vincier for friggin' sure. Holy crap, someone get that man a contract.
Someone get that man a trophy and a huge pint of beer like that Gragas he played. Oh, Lord and Lord, what a match we just witnessed. That's the kind of quality of match you're going to get when you watch this league. IAL, ladies and gentlemen, week 3 with your streamed winners being Midnight Gaming. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching some high-quality League of Legends. I'm Penguino, your host for the night, here with my brother, my partner in crime, my equal as Batman, Canopenerdude. Canopenerdude, thank you so much. Guys in chat, thank you so much. Thank you to both teams. We love you both equally. Thank you for one heck of a show. And we'll see you here next Wednesday. Same time, same place. Stay frosty, my friends. Have a good night.
Good night.